You keep hearing the economy is strong and unemployment is low. The headlines look great. But then you look at your bank account and it feels like you're going backwards. Your paycheck just doesn't stretch as far as it used to. You're not imagining things. Before the big scary layoff announcements ever make the news, something else happens first, and it happens quietly. Your paycheck starts shrinking. It's a subtle shift, a slow squeeze that millions are feeling right now. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this happens, why companies do it, and what it means for you. This isn't about panic. It's about understanding the real story behind the numbers. So, how does a paycheck shrink without you getting a pay cut? The most common way is that your hours get cut. This is the first lever companies pull. You're not fired. You're not laid off. You just work less. Maybe the overtime that you used to rely on suddenly disappears. Or your weekly schedule goes from a consistent 40 hours down to 35 or even 30. If you're a contractor or a freelancer, you might notice fewer billable hours available. For the company, this is a brilliant move. They get to cut their biggest expense, labor costs, without the negative press and morale hit of a layoff. They're saving money quietly. But for you, the impact is immediate and stressful. Your rent is the same. Your grocery bill is the same. Your car payment is the same. The only thing that's changed is the size of your paycheck, and it's smaller. It has a stealth pay cut that leaves you scrambling to cover the same expenses with less money. Next up is the wage freeze. Your paycheck also shrinks when your pay stops keeping up with the world around you. This is another subtle but powerful way your financial reality changes. Maybe your company announces they're pausing cost of living adjustments for the year, or that promotion you were on track for. It's suddenly delayed indefinitely. Those performance bonuses that used to be a sure thing, they're either smaller or gone completely. Meanwhile, inflation is still happening. Even if the rate slows down, prices for food, gas, and housing are still higher than they were last year. This is a critical point to understand. If prices are rising faster than your pay, you are effectively taking a pay cut, even if the number on your salary never changed. Your money simply buys less. You're working just as hard, but your purchasing power is eroding month by month. It feels like running on a treadmill that's slowly speeding up, and you're just trying to keep from falling off. All right, let's talk about the third silent paycheck shrinker, your benefits. Your total compensation isn't just your salary, it's the entire package, and companies have gotten very good at trimming the edges without making big announcements. You might get an email saying your health insurance premiums are going up. That's a direct hit to your take-home pay. Or maybe the deductible you have to meet before insurance kicks in has doubled. Suddenly, a routine doctor's visit costs you more out of pocket. Another classic move is reducing the employer match on your retirement account. If they were matching 4%, maybe now it's only 2%. That's future money being taken away from you. And what about other perks? Things like tuition reimbursement, wellness stipends, or even paid lunch breaks can quietly disappear. The number on your paycheck might look exactly the same, but because your life costs more and your benefits cover less, your actual, usable income has gone down. You're paying more just to maintain the same standard of living. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. We're seeing a massive shift where stable, full-time income is being replaced by gig work. Officially, these people are employed, which keeps the unemployment rate looking good. But the reality on the ground is very different. Many people aren't picking up a side hustle for extra cash. They're doing it to replace the income they lost from frozen raises or cut hours. This gig income is incredibly unpredictable. One week you might make a decent amount. The next, almost nothing. There are no benefits, no paid time off, no job security. You're entirely on your own. This creates a situation where you might be working more hours than ever before, juggling a full-time job and a couple of side gigs, but your total earnings are less stable and often lower than what you had before. It's a perfect example of how working more hours doesn't always mean making more money. You're putting in more effort for less stability and a smaller financial safety net. There's another sneaky factor that can make your bank deposits smaller. Even if your gross pay hasn't changed at all, taxes, fees, and other withholdings. This is the stuff that happens between the salary you were promised and the money that actually hits your account. Maybe your state or local payroll taxes went up slightly. It's not a huge jump, but it adds up. Or perhaps there were adjustments to how your health insurance or other benefits are deducted, leading to a little more being taken out each pay period. Even changes in how your retirement contributions are calculated can affect your take-home pay. You look at your pay stub and the top line number, your gross pay, is exactly what you expect. But then you look at the bottom line, the net deposit, and it's less than it was last month. You find yourself thinking, my salary didn't change, but my deposit did. It's these small, almost invisible subtractions that contribute to the feeling of your paycheck shrinking right before your eyes. So why do companies do all of this? Why not just be upfront? Because shrinking paychecks through these quiet cuts is a warning signal. It's the first line of defense for a company facing economic uncertainty. Before they resort to the drastic, public, and morale-crushing step of layoffs, they try to protect their profit margins. Labor is almost always the biggest cost, so they start there, but they do it in ways that fly under the radar. Cutting hours, freezing raises, and trimming benefits are all ways for a company to buy time. They can test the waters, see if business picks up, and hope they can avoid the headline-grabbing pain of letting people go. This phase of quiet cost-cutting can last for months, even a year or more. For employees, it's a period of growing anxiety and financial strain. It's not a layoff, but it feels like a slow financial bleed. Understanding this pattern is key. This isn't random. It's a strategic phase that comes before the storm. Faced with this slow-motion financial squeeze, how are households coping? We're seeing some clear and concerning patterns emerge. The first thing to go is often savings. People who were diligently putting money away for a retirement or an emergency fund are now cutting back on those contributions, or stopping them entirely just to cover monthly bills. At the same time, credit card debt is rising. When the paycheck doesn't cover everything, plastic becomes the default solution to bridge the gap. We're also seeing people delay major life purchases. Buying a new car, fixing the roof, or even just planning a vacation gets put on hold indefinitely. And as we discussed, many are forced to take on second jobs or gig work, not to get ahead, but simply to stay afloat. This isn't about giving financial advice. It's about observing the real-world consequences. People are making tough, rational choices to survive in an economy where their income is no longer keeping pace with their costs. So let's bring it all together. That feeling that you getting poorer even though you still have a job is in your head. It's a real economic phenomenon. The shrinking paycheck is one of the earliest and most important signals that the ground is shifting under our feet, long before the layoff announcements begin. It happens through cut hours, frozen raises, reduced benefits, and 100 other small subtractions that eat away at your financial stability. You're not imagining it, and you're not alone. Understanding this pattern doesn't have to be a source of panic. Instead, it can be a source of power. When you know what to look for, you can see the signs early and start making plans to protect yourself and your family. Because layoffs always make the headlines, but it's the shrinking paychecks that tell the real story first. If this breakdown helped you understand what's really happening beneath the headlines, do me a favor and hit that like button. Leave a comment to share your own experience, and be sure to subscribe for more straightforward explanations of the economy we're all living in. Thanks for watching.